What's going on, Jeromes? So the Minnesota Vikings are the patron saint team of undrafted free agents. It's just been dominating. Of course, you got John Randall, Texas A&I, when it was A&I, Kingsville, coming in to be in Hall of Famer. Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen, going to be in the Ring of Honor. CJ Ham, the pride of Augustana, the pride of Duluth, doing some great things as a fullback as well as team captain, special teams, dynamo. The marvelous Marcus Sherrills, who I will go to my grave fighting that for about a 3 or 4 year stretch, Sherrills was the number 2 punt returner in the league behind Devin Hester. Perhaps you've heard of him. And, of course, the Vikings seem to have struck gold with Ivan Pace Jr. At off-ball linebacker / edge rusher / just guy that creates havoc. Well, maybe not edge rusher. I don't want to start things, but IPJ is going to be a Pro Bowler and All-Pro for the Vikings coming up very soon. And the Vikings, they did it again. So the Vikings have a suite of 4 UDFAs that have a very good shot to make the 53 at minimum, making the practice squad. So I'm excited about UCLA edge rusher Gabriel Murphy, Arkansas cornerback Dwight McGlothern, Maryland receiver Jeshaun Jones, as well as Marshall. Linebacker / edge rusher Owen Porter, who's bringing the heat, man. Not gonna lie. He's one of the guys that I'm super stoked to see in preseason. All 4 of them. Long story longer, Alec Lewis, the Athletic, had a great piece of who has the most to lose and the most to gain. And undrafted players with intrigue, he listed our guys: Murphy, Jeshaun Jones, McGlothern, and Porter. This is what Alec Lewis wrote today. Last year, the Vikings uncovered an undrafted free agent gem in linebacker Ivan Pace Jr. What about Najee Thompson? This year, well, I didn't mention Najee either, so there you go. This year, 4 players have impressed in camp. Murphy, an edge rusher from UCLA, has not practiced fully in recent days with an undisclosed injury. He has, however, earned rave reviews from Flores. McGlothern's size and ball skills have excited coaches. Football coaches are weird. Anyways, Jones snags multiple passes a day and is likely to play in major minutes Saturday. Porter is a potential special teams contributor with defensive versatility. All of these players are vying for rooster spots, and there hasn't been a better opportunity for them to display their worth than Saturday against the Raiders. Now, Murphy, like Alex said, has been dinged up, undisclosed injury, walked off the field. I believe it was Saturday. But his spot is going to be pretty firmly secure, and his upside is there. Seen here, sacking former USC and current Bears quarterback Caleb Williams. Gonna happen multiple times. No big deal. And Murph absolutely brought it at UCLA, man. And I understand that Latu got all the publicity, but Murphy, 6'2", 247. Last year, 38 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, which led the nation. 8 sacks and a 17.2% pressure rate. And you look at just pressure rates and black and white numbers, like Murphy was getting after it. 61 pressures, compared to Diamond Dallas Turner, who's in a similar sort of undersized but uber athletic mold. Certainly up there, man. Also, Combine was ran a 4.68 40, 39.5-inch vert, which was number 2 amongst edge rushers, second only behind Dallas Turner. Seems like Kwesi has a type. Also, 8.88 RAS, which is pretty insane considering he was light as well as is short. The factoring into the RAS score out of 10. Murph has certainly been a guy who's shown up and showed out when he's been out there. I think that he's probably a mortal lock to make the 53. I think that even though he's been dinged up, I think that he's shown a lot more than Andre Carter II, last year's prize UDFA out of Army. So I think the Vikings, probably roll 5 deep at edge rusher, AVG, Turner, Grenard. Patrick Jones II has had himself a hell of a camp. So I think those 4 are locks, and then Gabe Murphy will be number 5. And then McGlothern. I love McGlothern. Nudie McGlothern, formerly at LSU and also at Arkansas. So he's 6'2", $185, long, lengthy, all that good stuff. And then last year, 20 tackles, 6 passes broken up, 3 picks, 51.2 quarterback rating when thrown at, which is good. It's pretty damn good. Also, 0 Goose Egg D'Angelo Russell penalties, cleaned things up. He had 10 in 2022 in Fayetteville, and also a 91.8 PFF coverage grade, which was the best in FBS. When undrafted, because it didn't really blow up the combine, pretty average as an athlete. So This is just like the Olympics, where you're sitting on the couch eating donuts and Funyuns, and you're just like, you didn't stick the landing. Boo, boo. And I mean, Dwight McGlothern ran a 4.47 40 and had a 32-inch vert. Like, that's better than like 98% of the population. And he's considered an average athlete. But either way, he's a technician of the position, and I think that he's going to be a really special player for the Vikings. And you look in that secondary. There you go. And you look at that secondary. So the Vikings have had some issues at cornerback depth, but Griffin looks to be on the mend. So it's probably going to be Griffin, Evans on the outside, Murph in the slot, and then some combination of the veterans, Fabian Moreau and Duke Shelley on the outside with the second team. McGlothern's going to be in there as well. Actually, I think that Moreau and Shelley are probably competing for one roster spot, as McGlothern has easily been ahead of Booth, AJ Green, even though Green's had himself some nice camp as well as Jalen Williams and Jacoby Francis. So, yeah, I think McGlothern's spot on the roster is going to be pretty safe. Jeshaun Jones, Jeshaun Jones certainly was hyped up when he was coming out of Maryland. I got that $225K guarantee for a UDFA. That's huge, same as Gabriel Murphy's. And Jeshaun Jones, he's 6'1", $188, a super senior year in College Park, 56 catches, 790 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And he's not someone who's going to blow you away metrically either, but he consistently has a nice wiggle, can run a full route tree, and is getting open and making plays, and just he's someone who's really been consistent as of late. Like Alec talked about, like, just catches every single day, really developing a nice chemistry with J.J. McCarthy especially. And I think that he is someone who will potentially vie for a 53-man roster spot. I think that Jefferson, Addison, Powell, and Naylor are the givens right now. You know, big props to Jalen Naylor having himself a great camp. Brandon Powell's done some nice stuff too. And then the rest of it, so Tristan Jackson, Lucky Jackson, Thayer Thomas, Trent Sherfield have all had solid camps at times. But Jones, they've made that financial investment in, that guarantee. And obviously he's been doing really well as well, and showing up preseason, especially if Jeshaun Jones catches a couple nice balls from J.J. McCarthy, maybe a touchdown. It could be in. Could be in. And it could be a spot, too, where Jones, obviously the big-time guarantee means that he was coveted as a UDFA. Vikings had to box out some other teams. And if the Vikings tried to get him on to the practice squad, getting him through waivers, he may be picked up by one of the said teams that had initial interest in him. So it comes down to, who do you think you can get through waivers? Jeshaun Jones or Tristan Jackson? Jeshaun Jones or Thayer Thomas? Jeshaun Jones, Lucky Jackson, Jeshaun Jones, Trent Sherfield. We'll see. Lastly, Owen Porter. Owen Porter's fun, man. So, working with the third teams, paying his dues and all that stuff. But UDFA out of Marshall, Marshall, 6'2", 250, 19 career sacks, 43.5 career tackles for loss, and not someone who's going to stand out physically either. It's one of those reasons why some guys go undrafted. You're betting on physical traits and production, but I mean, he got after things, and whenever he's been on the practice field, like, he has been a whirling dervish of energy. Like, he brings the energy up there like Levi Drake Rodriguez, and I don't know, like, he's someone that could be that Tasmanian devil, someone who could be that new Heath Farwell, someone that is just going to play fantastic teams, be a little bit of a contributor on defense as well. And he probably, of the four, has the largest uphill climb to make the 53, but I think that he probably is a lock to make the practice squad at least. And I would actually say that Porter's ahead of Bo Richter, a fellow UDFA out of Air Force. I would actually put Porter ahead of Andre Carter II as well. I just think that he's coming in and is a little bit more productive as of right now, but of course things can really change. A bunch of practices, joint practices, as well as obviously the 3 preseason games coming on up. But overall, like, you got 4 guys that could make potentially a very solid case to make the 53 minimum practice squad. I would say that Murphy and McGlothern are locks to make the 53. I think Jeshaun Jones, I like his chances a lot, considering some of the other receivers that they probably could get onto the practice squad easier than Jones. And I think that it could be a spot with Porter where They like him on the practice squad, but he's just able by hook or by crook to find a spot just because of his versatility in the front seven. So I like all 4 of these guys. And again, yeah, we are certainly the team, the patron saint of UDFAs. But it's something I respect too. I mean, some people look at this as like, oh, well, that means that you can't draft. No, it means that, hey, the best talent stays. It doesn't matter if you're drafted, doesn't matter how much you sign for as a free agent, doesn't matter if you went undrafted. Right? The best players are going to stick, the best players are going to play, and I love that, man. Competition brings out the best in everybody. That's right. But your thoughts are thoughts. UDFAs with huge opportunities this weekend against the Raiders. Let us know your thoughts. Our thoughts, comment section below. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.